This episode of Test Drive is made possible by RateMyEV.com.
Welcome back to PRN Test Drive. I'm James, and this week I have been driving the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9. The IONIQ 9 is Hyundai's first entry into the fully electric three-row SUV market, and it's based off Hyundai's eGMP platform, which you see on the IONIQ 5 and the IONIQ 6, and of course now the IONIQ 9. I actually found it very interesting to see one platform create such different and unique vehicles overall, because now Hyundai kind of has a solution for every needs in terms of an EV vehicle. If you want something small but electric, well, they'll offer you the IONIQ 6. If you want something that has a little bit more room but you don't need a three-row quite yet, well, they'll offer you the IONIQ 5. And now, if you absolutely need something three-row, tons of space, tons of cargo capacity, whatever it is, the biggest one available, they can now offer you the IONIQ 9. It's kind of interesting. They almost have the ability to compete vehicle for vehicle now with Tesla in the Model 3, the Model Y, and the Model X even. One word that comes to mind when I want to sum up my week with the IONIQ 9 is just simple. And to add more words to it, it's just been easy to use. It's been convenient as well. There's a ton of space. There's a good amount of range. Yes, it is a little bit pricey, and we'll get to it. And of course, this is a new platform this year, so I feel the need to take you through absolutely everything you need to know. So I'm gonna show you the exterior, we're gonna take it on the road, I'm gonna hop in the third row, the second row, absolutely everything. But first, let me give you some numbers and details. This 2026 IONIQ 9 is powered by a 110.3 kilowatt hour battery, and it's also got the dual motor setup, so hence the all-wheel drive plus, and I've got the Calligraphy package. So that means I have all the nice bells and whistles and add-ons that you could ever want out of a Hyundai experience. Now, in terms of range, Hyundai actually says that it will do 500 to 539 kilometers on all trims of the IONIQ 9. But I'm happy to tell you that testing it this week, I've seen it go into the 600s on a full charge at 100%. So that's really, really good news. Again, I've been driving it in the summer, pretty favorable weather, no cold weather or anything, so it remains to be seen how it will do there, but so far, that's pretty good range numbers from the IONIQ 9. Now, that dual motor setup produces 422 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. So at the top end of the IONIQ 9, it is a very quick three-row SUV. In terms of charging, if you can find yourself a 350 kilowatt hour charger, it will do 10 to 80% in just 24 minutes, which is pretty competitive. But like you'll see me mention a few times here, is that we have the NACS charge port now, which means we can now charge on some Tesla supercharger networks. Not all of them, but some of them, and some is better than none, right? So I'll take it. Now, when it comes to price, this one being the top trim, top level, everything you want or need in the IONIQ 9, it is here, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost around $83,786 Canadian. So yeah, you're definitely paying for all the things you're getting, but I think you do get quite a bit for the money. But of course, I'll take you through this vehicle and I'll let you be the judge. All right, on the road, 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9, and it is just so easy to drive. What a cool and just easy experience it is to be behind the wheel of this fully electric three-row SUV. Like, it's got speed, it's got comfort, and it's got space. I mean, it really does have it all. I'm gonna show you the speed in just a second here. Let me pop it into sport mode. Obviously do our stop sign here like we like to do. I've got the one pedal driving on as well, which is really nice. I pedal, so that means I only have to drive with one foot. Let's give it some beams here. There goes a tripod. Oh my God. It's definitely not like a crazy amount of speed where like it's, breaking my neck or making me want to vomit or anything. Obviously, if I ripped it multiple times, then yeah, I'd probably lose my lunch. But just, getting up to speed for the highway, passing slower traffic, general things like that, are an absolute breeze here. It's just, there's levels when you come to EVs, because all EVs are just naturally fast because you get that instant torque, but some EVs are just kind of faster than others. This one's right in the middle, right? Because you don't really care about your 3-row being incredibly quick. That's not something that personally I care about. I care that it's convenient to drive, which the IONIQ 9 is, and I also care whether or not it's easy to drive, which the IONIQ 9 is. The speed is just a plus. Visibility is also very good. I've got the digital rear view camera. I've got the little turn signal cameras as well. I've got blind spot monitoring. I've got a big old windshield, big side view mirrors. So like there's really no big blind spots here at all. And that's really important. Obviously, when you have a bigger vehicle, you don't want a lot of blind spots. Obviously, you want to see where you're going. I've got a 360-degree camera, of course. So like all these things add up and just make this thing very easy to crawl and drive around in tight spaces. I will say that maybe it could benefit in the future from some rear wheel steering, but then again, you're kind of punching up into Range Rover's territory, and this thing's already expensive enough. So are we going to get that ever? Probably not. Would it be absolutely cool to see on a Hyundai? Absolutely yes. Now, one thing you'll also notice while driving in your IONIQ 9 is that it's super quiet, right? Because there's active noise cancellation inside the cabin, but there's also like foam or noise canceling things inside of all of the tires. So you really don't hear the tires that much. The loudest thing in here right now is my AC, because it's about 32 Celsius outside, and it's hot and humid and disgusting, and I just don't want any part of it. So I have my AC on pretty high and my ventilated seats going like crazy, but like you don't hear the road noise. It's just super quiet, which makes the Bose sound system stand out even more. And like maybe if you don't have an upgraded sound system, it's still going to sound pretty good because it's so quiet in here. You can have conversations in here while you're driving along and everybody can hear you, as long as the music's not blaring, obviously, but everybody can hear you really well. It's just like a very peaceful thing. And I notice when there's construction outside and I either roll my window up or close my door, it immediately like mutes it, and it's like really it's really a top quality feeling. That's really nice. Now, in terms of handling, in sport mode, I do like the way the steering wheel stiffens up and loads up. You're not really expecting too much out of the IONIQ 9, honestly, in terms of handling. There's quite a bit of body roll. It does have a good center of gravity, of course, because the batteries are on the floor, but you're not taking this thing on the track. So again, it's not one of those things performance-wise that you're really looking at. It's just, it's not uncomfortable to drive, where there's not a lot of body roll where it's like, oh my goodness, all your stuff's being thrown around, unless you're really trying to push it. And again, I don't know why you would do that in a vehicle like this. There's plenty of other like performance EVs that you could easily do that with. So for what this vehicle is, a big 3-row, handling is exactly what you'd expect it to be, and I have no real big complaints there either. In terms of ride quality, it is a very smooth ride. You don't always expect it, because sometimes EVs, especially the bigger ones, can kind of drive heavy, so when you hit a big bump, you do feel its weight. Not so much the case with the IONIQ 9. It doesn't weigh that much because, you know, we have kind of like a more standard battery. They're not trying to push the range to like 800 kilometers or anything, so it's not like a massive battery adding to all of our weight, right? So it's helping the ride quality quite a bit. Like sometimes when you crash over a big curb or something, if you were ever to do that, I think you'd maybe feel the weight a little bit, but it's done a really good job. It's not Range Rover-esque, where Range Rover makes you feel like you're kind of just floating above the road and you're not really driving. This, sometimes in the big potholes you'll feel it, but it really does a good job at muting a lot of it, at making the ride really smooth and comfortable. And like they've really thought about the road trip. Like it is so smooth, comfortable, easy to drive. I've got the lane centering assist on as well. Like I've got all these things that, you know, just scream road trip, long hauls to, you know, tournaments or whatever it is. And it's just really good to see. Like something that I look at, you know, when I want to get a bigger family, is like, I'm gonna have to upgrade my vehicles here. Like, you know, we have an SUV, but like, what if we have like another one? Then what do I do, you know? And so like just having a really smooth ride quality, this one is really good, and I'm glad that it doesn't feel as heavy as it maybe is. And now, one thing that it's going to be hard for me to really tell you about here is the reliability. When it's a new platform and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to tell. So you're going to maybe have to give it a couple of months and let it come out. But that's why we have an incredible sponsor called RateMyEV.com, where real owners of potentially the IONIQ 9 can go on this website and write a review of exactly how it's been to live with, reliability-wise, charging-wise, just ease of use in terms of an EV. They can put their story right there, and then if you're looking for it, instead of just watching these reviews, also watch these reviews. But you can do that and then also hear from actual people who have spent way more than a week with it, because we only get to spend a week with it. So it's good to hear from actual people who spend weeks with their EVs. And that's not just for the IONIQ 9. That's for any EV you want. Head over on to ratemyev.com. Let them know that we sent you. It's a great buying tool to have for your next EV. One last note in terms of reliability is that, well, this is a new platform, but the good news is you could always look at things like the IONIQ 6 and the IONIQ 5 because this is based off those platforms. If those ones are doing decently reliability-wise, then you could assume the same for the IONIQ 9, which is pretty good. I haven't heard too many horror stories. I've heard a couple of things maybe with the battery of the IONIQ 5, not so much with the 6. Things have been pretty good. So hopefully the lifespan of the IONIQ 9 is going to be good because you're buying this vehicle to drive the absolute pants out of it. I mean, you are just going to drive this everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. You're not buying this vehicle to sit in the garage and just be your little daily commute. You are doing your road trips, cross country, whatever it is, wherever you're going, wherever you can drive, you're driving in this IONIQ 9. One, because it's so easy to do so, and two, because it has the range. It can now charge on the Tesla network. So like you kind of have everything encompassed. And so people that are buying this thing, I do truly believe you guys are going to buy it and just drive it to no end, which is what you should be doing. So now it's time to talk about the IONIQ 9's exterior design, starting with the front end. You can see we have the pixels. The pixels are going to be the theme once again for the IONIQ brand. That is really, really good to see. I like the pixels. I loved it when it first came out on the IONIQ 5, and I still like it here all the way on the IONIQ 9. And I like what they've done with this whole bar, right? On the camera, you might see it like moving. It's not doing that in real life. That's just for the camera, but still looks pretty cool when you film it like that. It also has parking sensors, a front-facing camera, because this is the all-wheel drive plus calligraphy trim. So I've got all the bells and whistles and even more on this thing. So it's all covered here. And I've also got a really nice sensor housing almost. Like you can see, the pixels really continue into these deep parts of the front grille here. And we've got some battery cooling down here. And I love these main headlights. And yes, we do have a front trunk. It's not the most spacious front trunk in the world, but it definitely is usable if you need that little bit of extra cargo space. It is absolutely there. So front's covered. That brings us on to the side profile for our IONIQ 9. And this is where you're going to really notice a lot the aerodynamic shape, right? Because the pillars here are really like a really sleek, like a sleek curve, I want to say. Like it's very simple, right? And this is where I see a lot of people, you know, the opinions that I've got this week are, it looks kind of funny. It's not my favorite 3-row on the market, whatever. Look, I actually do like the design. This paint color is actually gray, but on the camera it looks like a greenish gray. It's a very interesting paint color for our IONIQ 9, but I like it. You know what? I do like it. Makes me feel a little bit colorblind because sometimes I think it's gray and sometimes I think it's green. I can never tell what color I really think it is, and my brain can't either. But anyways, I like the tint back here. I like these door handles. They remind me of, you know, some of the things that you find on a top-end Range Rover. I have not been fighting with these door handles. They pop out when I walk up. They go back in when you lock it, no problem. I really like the rims here as well on our calligraphy trim. The tires are noise-canceling tires. So Hyundai has done a really good job at making sure that noise and road reduction is extremely reduced on the inside. I like the chrome accent here as well. Overall, no really big complaints. I mean, the style is going to be subjective. Not everybody's going to love it, and some people are absolutely going to hate it, and that's okay. But I really am on the side of I like it. I'm not on the side of the charge port, though. It's an NACS charger for this year, which is very nice. That means some Tesla superchargers can charge your IONIQ 9, which gives me a lot less range anxiety when it comes to things like road trips, because now I have a lot or almost all chargers at my disposal, and Hyundai also includes a nice adapter so that you can really charge at absolutely every and any charger that you find. The charge port door is also automatic opening and closing. I've had some IONIQ stuff in the winter, and so far that charge port door always has worked, so should be okay for our Canadian winters as well. There's that charge port door I was talking about. You can see automatic opening, automatic closing, and that brings us to the back of the IONIQ 9. A very interesting take on a rear end of a 3-row SUV, I will say. It's honestly the point that people have brought up to me the most when driving around in public this week. Is that some of them are like, oh, that's really interesting how they made the whole kind of brake light all the way up there, but oh, I don't like it, you know, kind of thing. But again, it's very subjective. My opinion after living a week with it, really don't mind it. I really, you know, like it's a big SUV, and I look at big three-row SUVs as more of a utilitarian thing more than like a flashy thing. So really the back end really doesn't bother me. Got parking sensors, rear facing camera, the rear wiper tucked up underneath right where it should be, and I've got a camera as well for our digital rear view mirror. Always good to have. Let's take a look in the rear here. Automatic tailgate, of course, calligraphy trim, you're gonna wanna have that. Very good amount of space just based off of having the third row up. This feels really good because there's AC in here and I'm dying. So this feels really good, but if I need more space, I have electronic controls right over here that I could actually fold down the third row and the second row just with a button. You don't, and it comes right back up too. It's not one of those things that's auto down, pull back up. Absolutely not. There's nothing to do here. You just press the button up or down and the vehicle takes care of everything for you. That's why when I said at the beginning of the video, the IONIQ 9 is just simple. It's things like that that make it simple. I've also got a little bit of storage underneath the floor here, which is a decent little cubby should you need to stuff some like little things down there as well. And last but not least, I have a 125 volt actual outlet in the back seat or in the trunk, which is very nice. So there you go. That's it for our exterior tour. Let me know what you think. All right, so now that we're parked up, let's take a look at the rear. The second row for the Hyundai IONIQ 9, a great place to spend time, just like the front seat is. These seats in the back here could easily be driver seats with a little bit more bolstering, but I mean, it doesn't feel that much different from my driver's seat to the back seat. That's a really good sign. I gotta tell you, this isn't an SUV that's approaching 100K. I mean, it's close, but we're not there yet. So look, to have this kind of thing is really good. Power adjusted for the captain's chairs back here, really nice. I've got circle door handles. I've got this little privacy screen. I've got cup holders here, a Bose speaker down here as well. I'm able to access the little storage thing here. I've got my own climate control, heated and ventilated seats for my seat here and the other captain's chair next to me as well. Really nice. You can just have these things recline as well, just get a nice heated or ventilated experience. There's a little drawer here as well. The driver can also control all of the things like the power operated seats back here from the front screen. You can also control the ventilated seats, the heated seats, and the cooling back here as well. So say my daughter's back here by herself, I can control all that stuff for her. So everything is, again, very simple. USB-C ports on the back of the driver and the passenger seat, as well as the passenger seat has little buttons there that you can go and adjust. So say you're in the right captain's chair, you can actually move the passenger seat all the way out of the way and just get like a full recline in. It looks really cool and it's extremely comfortable. I do have some armrests here, very, very nice. Really no issue. And I mean, I've got enough space here that if I moved my seat here, which I think it's all the way up, no, there we go, I'm gonna move it all the way up here a little bit, I can actually just straight up put myself in the third row, just like this. Right? You're never going to be graceful doing that. It's always a bit of a squeeze. But like, if I sit behind my daughter's seat right over here, I can easily put my foot here or whatever. I'm 5'11" for reference, so I fit here. I mean, I fit in this back seat. Not like, oh my goodness, yeah, you're gonna have to move this seat up quite a bit more for me to get in there. But like, if I'm stuck here for like 10, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour ride, I could do it. I've got cup holders back here as well, and I can even recline the seats from back here. Look at this. Look how comfortable this is. Oh my goodness. This is actually, and the seats back here are really good quality too. You find this on some of like the, you know, the lower brand stuff, and you're still gonna like it. I also have cup holders. But I mean, you could do a road trip, and there's a nice little window here back here too. So look, you're not that uncomfortable in the back seat, especially if you're a kid. You're sitting happy. You're very happy back here. Got my vents here too. Look at this. No problem at all. So again, Hyundai's thought of everything when it comes to interior, when it comes to front seat, back seat, third row. There's kind of nothing missing. So now sitting inside the IONIQ 9 in the front seat, a very nice place to spend time. I'm gonna go from left to right because it's just easy, because there's a few things that I wanna mention, but I don't wanna leave anything out here. So first, for the door, we have these circle door handles, which is really cool. We also have some nice ambient lighting as well. I do like the overall design of the door. I got a Bose speaker, as well as two memory seat settings and a massaging door as well. So that's very nice to look at. I've also got standard door controls. I've got a button for the automatic charge port, or the door for the charge port. I've got a button here that I could press to open the front trunk, although there is also a key on the key, or a button on the key fob that will actually activate that as well. So no issue there. I can also hold this button, open the tailgate, and I can turn traction control off. And then I also have a little knob on the steering wheel for the power adjusted steering wheel, which is very nice. Again, got the calligraphy trim, so I've got all the nice bells and whistles that you'd want here from the IONIQ 9. Then we'll move over to our digital gauge cluster, which is a very simple design, yet still informative. Shows me my range, shows me my iPedal, shows me my regenerative braking level, and it shows me current trip, obviously speed stuff, and then, you know, with the parking sensor can come up on the other screen, as well as I do have some cameras in the left and right turn signal for when, you know, I'm changing lanes. It's the nice little luxury feature that we have there for this. Now, the steering wheel is a very nice looking steering wheel. It reminds me of the one that we find on the Range Rovers, but I do have physical buttons for media control as well as cruise control and things like this. So very easy to understand, very easy to use as well. And then they've put the gear selector like right on the steering wheel, and also the start stop button. So I'm not reaching around and doing anything. I put it in drive, or I start it and then I put it in drive, that's it, or I put it in park and then stop it. My hand's not going everywhere. So it's very, very good. If you get the white interior, the steering wheel will become white, look a little bit cooler maybe, but still I think the dark look looks really nice. And also you have the 4 dots, and when you change through your drive modes, the theme of the gauge cluster will change, as well as you'll get like a flash of red, purple, or green depending on what drive mode you're in. Now, next we'll talk about the driver's seat specifically, a very nice thing to have here because I do have massage seats. So really good, and I've got the adjusted power. So my seat is obviously powered, so is the passenger, heated and ventilated, so is the passenger seat as well. So all good news, but I do have this really cool feature that I want to show you. So I've got like this quite a big slider button that I can hold back right here, and I can just kind of recline here. You see, it's going to bring me really close to the steering wheel, and back we go. Hopefully I'm still in the camera shot, and it brings my recliner up as well, so that way, say I'm waiting for my wife to finish grocery shopping or mall shopping, whatever she's doing, and I'm not involved in it, I can just sit here, turn on the massage seats, turn on the AC, and just be really, really comfortable. I could just take a nap right here, no problem. And then when I'm done, when we're ready to go, I just hold the button and it will return the seat to the exact position it was before I pressed it. Next, let's talk about digital infotainment display. Nothing crazy. It's the standard kind of software that you see running on a lot of the current gen Hyundais. Very easy to understand. There's not a lot going on. Built-in maps, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've got like the EV tab as well. You've also got seats, so I can actually control the seats in the rear from the front. So I can turn on their ventilation, their heating. I can also adjust, you know, their positioning as well from the front seat, and I don't have to do that. And I can also adjust the leg supports. Pretty much all parts of the seat I can adjust right here from this front screen. And yeah, I just like that, you know, they haven't reinvented the wheel at all. They've just made it standard, easy to understand, and just hop in and drive. And then we move a little bit lower where we do have a good access of physical buttons here, as well as some touch buttons for our HVAC control. It's a tri-zone automatic climate control, because you can control the one in the rear as well. But this is okay, right? There's touch buttons that make a little beep when you do it. You can control your heated steering, your ventilation, all that stuff from here. I can put it in driver only mode if I'm the only one driving in the car and I don't need that much heating. You know, it's super easy, super simple to use and understand. It's never really failed on me. So like, yes, I prefer physical buttons, but also if this is what we get, I don't hate it because it works. Next, I also have some USB-C ports. It's a 100 max output USB-C port, so very good capacity there. I've got like 2 shelves here as well. Then we move on to our center console, where I have my drive mode, my drive mode selector, as well as the terrain mode selector. I can bring up my 360-degree camera system from here, which is very good, very high quality. I've got a wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders, the ability to open the center console storage from here. They can also do it like this from the back. And then another really cool feature is, say you do have people in the back and you don't want them reaching for stuff, you can just slide it over. Or if I need more space in the front seat for whatever reason, I can also just move that back and slide it over. And if I want it kind of standard car feel, I can have it right up front. Now the passenger also gets a little shelf above the glove compartment standard space. I like the trim overall with the calligraphy badge and kind of like the nice trim that they have going on here. And we do have a felt headliner, which feels very high quality, very, very good. I love the Bose sound system, does a very good job here, especially when I'm, driving down the highway by myself. This interior is very quiet and it makes the sound system better and it just makes the overall ride in general better. So the front seat, a great place to spend time. Whether you're in the driver's seat or really the passenger seat, you're just going to be comfortable, and that is one of the highlights of the IONIQ 9's interior. All right, so that's just about gonna do it for all of my thoughts on the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9. Just simple. I mean, I keep repeating that. I think I've probably said it to you about 60 times, but that's what it is. And if you spend even like a few days with the IONIQ 9, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about when I just say that it's easy to use. Like I'm never worried or concerned about, range or just spatial needs. Like I can fit things and I can fit people, and in most cases I can fit both of those things at the same time. And when you're looking for your next 3-row and you're not somebody who wants to drive around in a minivan, and that is me, that is exactly me. I don't hate the Toyota Siennas of the world, but I also don't love them. And if there was an alternative like an IONIQ 9 or even a Kia EV9, stuff like that, well then I'm probably gonna opt towards that, just because they look a little nicer. They don't look like as minivan-y, and I'm just not a fan of, minivans overall. Not that they're bad vehicles, it has nothing to do, it's just all about preference. And when it comes to preference, I just prefer like a nice 3-row, exactly like the one I'm driving now. So with all that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here as it starts to absolutely downpour here in Quebec. The summers are nice one second and then absolutely terrible the next. So before it starts to hail the size of golf balls, I'm gonna go put this thing in the driveway and get out of it. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more Hyundais just like this one, more EVs. Let us know what you want to see us drive, and we'll do our absolute best to get our hands on it. With that being said, I'll see you next week. See you in the next car. Take care.